Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm really glad this question came in because a lot of people live with this and they don't say it out loud. They keep showing up, doing what needs to be done, taking care of people, keeping everything moving, and somewhere in there they have this quiet thought they don't quite want to finish. Why doesn't this feel like I thought it would? Here's today's question. Why does my life look fine but feel off when I'm actually living it? If that question has ever hit you, it usually doesn't stay simple for long. It turns into something like, what does this say about me if I built this life and it still doesn't feel like home when I'm inside it? And that's where people start getting uneasy. Because this isn't a throwaway life. There are years in this, people in this, choices you made on purpose, things you stayed in, worked on, held together when it would have been easier not to. So when that feeling shows up, most people don't sit with it. They explain it away and keep moving, tell themselves they're tired, or this is just what happens after a while, or it's adulting. Then they go right back into the day and the day keeps going. That's part of what makes this hard to catch. Nothing is forcing it to stop. Everything still works. From the outside, it can look like things are going exactly the way they should. But inside, something doesn't land the same. You can be right in the middle of your life and still feel slightly outside of it. Sometimes the problem isn't that your life is falling apart, it's that your life keeps moving and you can feel yourself slipping out of it or disappearing altogether. And once you notice that, it doesn't really go back to the way it was before, because now you start seeing things you weren't paying attention to. Not all at once, just in moments. You're in a conversation and you realize you were only halfway in it. You're doing something you've done 100 times and it feels like you're just getting through it instead of being there for it. And then the question gets a little sharper. You start wondering when that shift happened. What you've been pushing past to keep everything running, whether you've been so focused on holding things together that you didn't notice yourself fading out of parts of your own life. And for a lot of people, that lands in a very real place. It shows up in relationships that still look solid, but feel different when you're in them. In parenting, where you're there, but not fully present in the way you used to be. In work, you've given years to that now feels more like something you manage than something you connected to. In being the one everyone relies on and quietly feeling further away from yourself while you keep doing it. That's where this gets hard. Because you didn't build this carelessly. You built something that works. And now you're the one standing in it, trying to figure out why it doesn't feel the way you thought it would. There's a kind of grief in that. Not the loud kind, just the realization sitting there, I did everything I was supposed to do, and this still doesn't feel like mine in the way I expected. And if you're really honest, for some people it goes even further than that. You spent years being respected for how well you hold everything together, and at the same time, you've been feeling less like yourself while doing it. People see you as solid, reliable, the one who can handle anything. And you're sitting there thinking, then why does this feel so far away? That's not something small to brush off. That's the kind of moment that can shift how you see a lot of your life. So when you ask what this means, it usually points to the fact that some part of your life isn't matching who you are anymore. Not everything, but enough that you feel it, and once you see that, you don't get to fully unsee it. So instead of turning this into some huge decision you think you have to make right now, just stay with what's actually in front of you. Notice where you feel more like yourself, even if it's brief, and notice where you feel like you're just moving through things to keep them going. Don't rush to fix it. Don't rush to explain it either. Just be honest about the difference, because that's where this starts to change. Not all at once, just enough that you stop treating that feeling like background noise. And if there's a place where you do feel more like yourself, don't keep pushing past it like it doesn't matter. Let it take up a little more space than it has been. You don't have to tear your life apart to do that. But you also can't keep pouring yourself into places where you feel like you're fading and expect to feel like yourself at the same time. And over time, that adds up. You don't wake up one day and everything is gone. It's more like you look up and realize you've been showing up everywhere except your own life. That's the part worth paying attention to now. Thank you for your question. If you want to share your story or a question, email me at drshannon@kfes12.com. And always remember, you are worth it. Lead into being the best version of yourself, one small step at a time. Happy Sunday.